The village became a city in 1950, and today it serves nearly 9,000 people as a progressive suburb just east of Lake Hefner. Headquarters to Love's Country Stores, they have a 5-member council and a CEO administrator. Representing them today is, once again, their city manager, Bruce Stone. Come on up, Bruce.
Well, thank you for this opportunity. I didn't know I had it until I got here today. It seems that our mayor and vice mayor have other things to do, and so it's me. So I guess I'm kind of used to this. But at any rate, I don't even know where to start. You know, I've worked for the village for almost 38 years. I came from the city of Blackwell in 1985. I had 2 weeks to get the budget done. I lived in the fire station with the firemen. That was an interesting experience. But I won't go into that. I'll tell you a little bit about what the village has been doing over the last few years. We've been going through a renaissance as well, like War Acres, for about the last 5 or 6 years. It actually started back when we created our first tax increment district and were able to get rid of a blighted apartment complex. It was a 436-unit complex that a lot of gang activity and bad things happening. We stood the chance of losing Love's family. They were threatening to leave our community unless something was done. So we created this tax increment district to try to renovate the apartments. We ended up finally buying the property, tearing it down, redeveloping it. That created a huge spark for the village. We got put on the map. Businesses started flocking to the village. We had a 10-year spurt in growth, and I don't have time to cover all those. But as far as things that have happened in the last few years, in 2018 we passed our first bond issue ever in the history of the city of the village, and it was a $10 million bond issue. We did 5 miles of resurfacing. We did 4 miles, almost. Actually, it was more. It was more like 8 miles of resurfacing, and 5 miles of sidewalks. We also did a master plan for our park system, and we've been working steadily to try to complete that master plan. We're getting ready to start phase 3. We'll be going to bid in November. It's $1.7 million to complete the master plan for Duffner Park, which is located on Hefner across from Chapel Hill United Methodist Church. And so we're looking forward to that project. The park improvements really excite me. I mean, more so than sidewalks or streets, because so many people get to enjoy them, and the kids, you know, appreciate it. We've built 3 new tennis courts. They're all striped for pickleball. So we've made a huge amount of progress in our park system, and we hope to continue that progress in the future. Coming up for in February 2022, rather, we passed our second bond issue. It was a $13.3 million bond issue for 15 more miles of street improvements and another 5 miles of sidewalk improvements and another $3.3 million in park improvements. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us. We're currently just in engineering for our sidewalk and street projects. Oh, by the way, that also includes 3 drainage projects that are currently being engineered as well. So my successor rather, will have a lot to do. All these projects, most of them will be out to bid by the time the new person takes office, and so they'll have plenty on the plate to get done. Probably the most important project that we're doing right now, and we just broke ground. We're going to have our groundbreaking ceremony on Monday. It's exactly 16 years to the day from when we created our TIF #1 district. And that's when I described it earlier. It took a long time to redevelop, get the property values built up. We generated about $70 million in new property values in this district, and we're reaping the benefits in about $1 million in ad valorem tax every year. And so all that money is going into this new development, which we don't really have a great name for it. We're calling it the TIF Civic Area Phase 1. And there's a 2-acre tract next to City Hall, which is being developed with a fountain plaza, a pavilion that will be available for performances and for gatherings and so forth. And it'll have a kind of like a pergola structure on the east end and lots of landscaping. The fountain plaza is going to be really nice. It kind of doubles as a splash pad, although that's not the primary purpose. But there'll be some lighting, so when the spray comes up, we can light with different colored LED lights to make it really attractive. Then we are reducing Vineyard Boulevard by 1 lane, which is it's a 4-lane street now, and we're converting that lane into a linear park that goes all the way from City Hall to the Village Library on Penn. And this will be landscaped with new lighting. And then in the library, next to the library, we're putting in a senior fitness center, which is it's a covered facility and a new play area for the kids. So this about a $7 million project, not including the architectural and engineering costs. So it's kind of a transformative project for the village. It's going to really change the area around City Hall. And I'm obviously not going to be there to see it through, but I'm still going to be a resident of the village, and I'll be able to enjoy it, and my grandkids will be able to enjoy it, and so forth. So, the City Council is still in the process of taking applications for my successor. The goal is to have someone selected by the end of December. That might be a little ambitious, and to be ready to take office around February 1st. I've told the council if they really need me to hang out a little longer, then I would be happy to stay a little bit, but I've got other things to do. And I don't want to be in anybody's way by any means. So at any rate, that's kind of the long and short of it. It's been a great career. I love the village. Spent more than half of my life working for this community, and it's been great to me and my family. And so, but it's time for someone younger to come on and take us to the next level. I think we've set the groundwork to do that, and so. The village is just going to keep improving and improving. Thank you very much.